welcome to another episode of Tiva Drive. And we apologize for the sound. Our mics, wireless mics are not working, so hopefully you can hear me okay. And this week we are comparing this 2024 actually Mercedes EQB300, which is the second from the bottom. You have the EQB250 with 200 horsepower single motor. This is 225 horsepower all-wheel drive. And then you have the 350, which we tested before, with 288 horsepower. The battery in all of them is 70 kilowatt hours, which is much smaller than our Audi Q4, which, as you know, now has a battery of 82, and it has 300 horsepower. So this vehicle here starts at 69,000, where the all-wheel drive version of the Audi Q4 starts at 67,000. So for now, it seems that Audi is a better deal. BMW does not import the iX1 here, but you do have the Mini Countryman SE, which is equivalent to BMW iX1, which we tested recently. Last time we drove the EQB350, we compared it with Tesla Model Y. It was a 7-seat version. This one here, the 250 and the 300, are just a 5-seater version. So you get a bigger trunk, but no third row seats. So we'll quickly show you the trunk, because there is no third row, so it's a bigger trunk. The car itself is a little bit longer than the Audi and the Countryman SE, so it's slightly larger, but other than that, they are really in the same size category. Okay, so let's just show you the trunk space. And this one here, because it's a middle model, there is a new like fake grille in the front. It only has 18-inch wheels with arrow wheels inside, not very pretty, low profile wheels and tires. So the second row, so the front row looks exactly the same as the 7-seater version. This one has suede seats, the same dashboard and interior. So in terms of the second row, the space in the second row is very similar. So the advantage of this car over the other ones, that you can push back because there is a third row option in some of the upper versions, you can move the back seats, the second row seats, front and back by quite a bit. So here's the movement that's all the way back, and this is all the way to the front. This is meant to give more space to the third row people, but here there is no third row. So let's show you the trunk space. And here you go, EQB300, and it is 4Matic all-wheel drive. So in terms of the trunk space, as you can see now, if you push the seats forward, you get much more space in the trunk, and the trunk itself is much bigger than the Audi Q4. I might as well show you. Both of these cars have unibrow rear LEDs, so it's still a substantial trunk, but it's just not as big as the Mercedes EQB. So let's close them up. So that's about it for the walk around. Let's jump inside and tell you about our test results and our impressions of the car. Okay, so here we are inside the 2024 Mercedes EQB300 4Matic all-wheel drive. We are in the spring of 2025, but for some reason this vehicle just arrived as a 2024 model. So as we mentioned, below this you have the 250 single motor. This is the mid-range, and then you have the top of the line 350. The difference is the power, and then single motor versus all-wheel drive. The battery size is the same in all those cars. This 300 is equipped with the sunroof, of which the front section opens, tilts and opens, and the rear section is fixed. So it's two-part glass sunroof, panoramic sunroof. You have the ambient lighting here, which you can choose any color for. It's a typical EQB interior. So you have the LEDs here. You cannot see it. It's getting dark, so soon you'll be able to see it. You have the LEDs here to the left of the screen. The screen itself is smaller than the GLC 350e we just drove, which had a main screen here and another vertical screen there. More LEDs, including the Mercedes logos here on the passenger side, and of course on the doors themselves as well. So in terms of the price comparison, this vehicle here starts at 69,000, which is 5,000 above the GLC 350e we just drove last week. So it's actually more expensive than the larger car, but of course this is pure electric, where the GLC 350e is a plug-in hybrid. So I don't know, those two Mercedes cars might be competing against each other for people who are not sure if they want to jump into full electric or stay with a plug-in hybrid. Let's turn it on and let's keep it on the consumption screen. This is fine. So you can see 84%, and we're at 264 kilometers. So this week was kind of more of a winter weather than the spring weather, really. Barely above zero, ice storm this weekend. So we were driving in pouring rain. So we'll tell you about the consumption test results. We drove it only on the highway. There was no point in hypermiling because the weather did not cooperate. So let's take you for a spin. Gear shifter, as in all Mercedes cars, that's right here. We'll show you the different modes. So the mode button here, next to the volume button, and the automatic parking button. So dynamic, you have Eco, Sport, Individual, and Comfort. So the car always starts in Comfort. So in order to switch it to Eco, you go to next button, and then you go to Sport. So in our in our opinion, the 300 is basically a tuned down version of the 350. Supposed to have only 225 horsepower with 8 seconds to 100, which is way slower than our Audi. The Audi Q4 55 accelerates in under 6 seconds. So it's basically over 2 seconds slower to 100 than the Q4 55. Also slower than the Mini Countryman SE because it only has 225 horsepower versus 335 for the Audi and 300 for the Mini Countryman SE. And of course, if you opt for the 350 version, that has 288 horsepower, still not as much as some of the competition. So the rated range is 330 kilometers. We'll tell you momentarily what our test results produce. So we are in drive, and we are right now in comfort mode, but let's start with the eco mode and tell you most of our test results were done in eco mode, driving on the highway. So the lowest result we got with the highway consumption was 24 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. And that was in kind of a nice weather without rain. Dry weather, just barely between 0 and +5 degrees Celsius, which would give this car just over 300 kilometer range based on the 70 kilowatt hour battery. Then when the weather got nastier and we had rain and freezing rain, driving on a highway, the consumption went up all the way to 27, which would then mean less than 300 kilometer highway range, so less than rated. So in terms of the competition, this is the smallest battery of all the other electric vehicles that this is competing with, because 70 kilowatt hours is 12 kilowatt hours less than the Audi battery, and it's also less than the Mini Countryman SE. So the range is an issue. The most range that we showed here in the car was 320 kilometers without climate, or 300 with climate at 100% fully charged. So it's really a little bit on the short side compared to the other cars. Now, in terms of the fast charging, the Mercedes in the US got access to Tesla supercharger. Here, not yet, not sure for what reason. So we were charging it mostly at home. We did do one fast charging session, which we shot a video segment of, so you can refer to that segment in terms of the charging statistics, but we never got anywhere close to the maximum rate of the 200 kilowatts that the Mercedes is promising. I can actually see, based on the percentage of the battery, the car tells you the maximum DC power speed. So right now we're at 84%, and the car says that the maximum rate is 17 kilowatts only. So you basically, the car will tell you what to expect in terms of the charging speed. But when we plugged in at the Electrify Canada, it was showing, I believe, around 60 kilowatts. We never got more than 49. And again, it's hard to say whether it was the car's limitation or whether it was an issue with the Electrify Canada charger at that time. However, the charging speeds, at least at the upper half of the battery, are far from spectacular on this Mercedes EQB. In terms of the equipment, this car costing 69 plus options, as it is, this car is close to 80 actually. So 69,000, which as we mentioned is 2 grand more than the Audi Q4 55. It's 10 grand more than Mini Countryman SE, which both have larger batteries and more power. The car only comes with the normal standard cruise control. It does not have adaptive cruise control, does not have lane keep assist. In my opinion, in this price range, around 70 grand, even without options, those things in this price range should be standard. So this is a little bit disappointing. In terms of the shift paddle, same as in the EQB300. The left shift paddle increases the recuperation, and you have a display here which says maximum recuperation. The plus goes back to strong, and then it goes to normal recuperation, and this is the minimal. So it's almost coasting, but it's still recuperating some energy. So as you know, we always prefer maximum regen, so we'll keep it at that. The car does not offer full one pedal driving, so it will not stop. You see it's creeping forward. It does have auto hold, but you have to press the brake pedal very hard to get the auto hold. So right now it's on, but the moment you touch the accelerator, the car is creeping forward. So there is no one pedal driving in this Mercedes EQB, which is too bad. All right, so let's take it just a little section on the highway. But again, a car with 300 kilometer winter range is little on the short side versus the competition. So the only advantage of this car versus the competition is its length and the size of the trunk. The opening sunroofs exist in both Countryman SE and also the Audi Q4. So that's very similar in all these three cars. So the advantage for Mercedes is in the trunk size, and that's about it, because it has less power and shorter driving range. So the 225 horsepower, 8 seconds to 100 is the official acceleration. If we put it in sport right now, it feels more powerful than 225. So I wonder if they are not underrating. It really has a very sensitive accelerator pedal in all the modes, but especially in sport. And so basically it feels more powerful than the 225 that it's rated for. We did not measure the 0 to 100, which is rated at 8 seconds, which would be way slower than the Audi and the Mini, and of course Tesla as well, which is rated for 5 seconds. But something tells me that it feels more powerful than the 225 on paper. So I would encourage you to test drive it, compare it with the 250 and the 350 brothers, the other two models of the EQB, and choose the one that works the best for you. But it's, in my opinion, it has enough of a oomph, enough of the acceleration and power for day-to-day driving, and no really need to upgrade more power if you don't need it, because that's gonna, the more power you have, the less range you're gonna have. So unless you're into stop and go and racing other cars from the red lights, you shouldn't care about the 0 to 100 acceleration times. So that's about it for these 2024 Mercedes EQB300. If you have any questions in terms of the comparison with our Audi Q4 or the Mini Countryman SE, you can also refer to the EQB350 video we have that we pitched against the Tesla Model Y of our friend, because that was a 7-seater version and the Tesla Model Y was available as a 7-seater. That option may or may not be available by the time you watch this video, but Tesla Model Y had a 7-seat option. Okay, so that's about it. Don't forget to press the subscribe button on our channel to be informed when the next video is coming out. As usual, we have to thank our sponsor, Condos and Castles Realty Inc. You can find them at www.condosandcastles.com. Thank you for watching, and see you at the next review.